We Asir days teaching Sunday schools.
Can y'all hear?
I can. I can hear it.
Islam.
Islam.
Okay.
It's going in and out. Like
Can
no,
y'all hear?
I can't hear it.
Islam, we hear you.
Oh, you can. Islam.
Can y'all hear the sound? How much did
Can
he
you hear the
teach?
sound? Can y'all hear the
The
man
sound
teaching?
from 135,000. All right, let me share the sound. I'm gonna go back.
Islam.
All right, hold on. Let me try one more time.
Get it right.
Struggle streaming. We're gonna get it. You know I ID Islam. It's gonna be all right. Notice how the top is Asia. That's Shem. That's one of Noah's kids. See here? Look to the far right. It's India. Now, check this out. If you go to raremaps.com and type in Asia, you'll start to see all these old maps of Asia. And one just really stuck out to me. No, not only because it costs $25,000 for this map right here, but it looked really familiar to me. If you're in America, does this map look familiar to you as well? Well, let's take a look at her. Wow, that looks a lot like California. Maybe not, you know.
They just had a great debate
Because
about
you know, when it's
California.
first discovered California. Whoa, does that say Florida on an old Asian map?
California,
I thought
Florida.
America named America because he discovered it. You know? Oh, why is that $25,000?
So he didn't discover is what she letting you know.
Now, this is just a reminder of when we're talking about when the prophet was talking about Asia and India. He was talking about Europe and Africa, right? He was speaking about several key locations. Now, I've shown other maps previously, and I showed the first map that was in this video. We broke down this map a couple years ago. Prophet was right and exact.
That's right.
The brother who asked the question about, Europe and so on and so forth. When he's talking about Europeans, he's talking about those who were grafted in Europe, because everyone else originally came from here, and we went over there.
Grafted, like what Elijah Muhammad was teaching us.
Like, what key was that? He was talking about what was go back to that key.
I mean, y'all cooking today, brother.
What does the lower self breed?
Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. Islam. That's right.
Right, so we talk about breeding, right? We also know that, because those were the characteristics that these children of Adam and Eve had, right? We also know that some of their names was Lucifer, Satan, Devil, Dragon, and Beast. Now I'm gonna hold off because I'm waiting for a couple more keys to come up, and I'm gonna show you where Jesus, another story about Jesus and the disciples that was with him, as well as showing you that dragon was
that dragon
right here in America.
Oh yeah, we know that. That's in the prophecies of the Bible. Come on with it. And Brother Minister Farrakhan been keeping us in how those all tie in. Codes again. These are all codes.
So yeah, brother, yeah, these are all codes. It is codified.
Salam.
So that you will go out and find what it is that you're seeking. If you really want to know, then you'll go out and you'll find it.
That's right.
Islam.
Islam.
I yield the floor back to our Sunday school teacher.
Islam,
You still squaring this. You still got the screen share, brother.
It's not the part about the beginning of Christianity when the prophet laid out, said that a pale skin nation was ruling a part of Palestine. Right? Would that be tying into the understanding that Europe was not only ruled by pale skin people, but they were first ruled by Asiatics that went into Europe? You know, the first, they call them Phoenicians, and the first sailors that established it. So a portion of Palestine was ruled by pale skin nations of Europe. And I think that would tie into the breeding thing you were kind of hinting at. Islam,
yeah, you can go back to the you're talking about the Asiatics who went to Europe and established Europe, where we got the Algonquian conquest. Islam. Thank you.
Brother Wayne Bryant, you got your hand up, man.
Yeah, Islam, man. I was listening to the brother, listening to the sister's interpretation. So I know Act 6 says something that the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. So I'm not understanding where we got that we were over here first and then we went over there.
Islam, brother, do you know what the etymology of the word inhabit means?
I mean, I'm assuming that it means inhabit, like, you know, habit as far as where you stay at, where you exist at, and then in, as far as inside of it.
Does that mean that you're from there, or does that just mean you live there?
Well, I mean, I don't think that the prophet was trying to say that we was from there, but in Act 6, where he says the Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. I mean, if you can tell me how that doesn't mean what it says.
What's your interpretation?
No, I was about to say, no. That's Act 6. I was about to say, that's definitely Act 6.
What I'm saying is, what I'm asking you is, what is your interpretation of a descendant of an ancient Moabite inhabiting Africa?
Well, to me, I have interpreted that as us being not the descendants of slaves, but instead being the descendants of what they call the pirates, who have been coming back and forth from Africa for thousands and still do it today. Like, there are still African pirates today. Because my understanding of the etymology of the word Moab comes from the word mu or mo, which usually means water, like maritime, mermaid type deal. that refers to, you know what I'm saying, the ancient peoples who used to travel back and forth from the African coast to the north, what you would call the northeastern American coast, which like I said, still happens to today. You know what I mean? Like they still be making that. They don't really tell us about that on the news. You know what I mean? Like I had, did the study on as far as Musa Abu Bakr, and he had basically took that trip from West Africa to over here. So I mean that's the way I had it interpreted.
Islam, Brother Wayne, right? Musa and Abu Bakr are brothers. Those are two different people. And
Musa is a title. I was about to say, you can look that up. Musa is a title. It means emperor.
Master Musa was Abu Bakr.
Yeah, and Abu Bakr was his nephew.
Right. So he was the king, and he left Musa in charge while he came to America, and I want to say it was like 1316. But draw, because you studying that, Mo.
Oh yeah, he'll go there now. He'll go there. He think outside the box.
Yeah, I actually want to show him what words mean.
You brought up Ivan Van Sertima earlier. Ivan Van Sertima's first book was called "They Came Before Columbus."
Yeah.
You wrote that. Okay, that was the first book you wrote. Now, see, 'cause I know you're finna pull some stuff up. Can you please pull up the etymology of Moab? And while you're doing that, so the brother can see what the word Moab actually means.
Yeah, we got time today. She on that computer, and we got Brother D. Harrington Bay and Brother Pennington Bay and K Bay. Oh man, we're gonna have fun today.
It's important. It's important, but I love it. I love it most of it, you know.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
It's not giving me the word, the etymology of Moab, but I'm
That's where you
No.
from. It just means that's where you live, or that's where you at right now. Like right now, I'm inhabiting this place where I'm at, but this is not home.
We know that's not home. We know that's not home because we couldn't come in.
We're from there, so we inhabited there. From here, we are.
Yeah. It's something something very significant though, because the Prophet Noble Ali directs our attention to the northwestern and the southwestern shores for a reason, and he touched it. I would like for you to think of us not so much as pirates, but as, you know, businessmen and women who understood the importance of having control over the sea, because they didn't have airplanes and stuff like that, trains and stuff like that. So when you talk about import, export, having control over the sea was very, very important. And the Moors were the people who had the ingenuity, right?
Islam.
The resources to take control of the sea. Now, the ingenuity aspect of it is very important. It's very important for us to understand that our ancestors thought along these lines. All right? Now, one of the things that some of the things that Ivan Van Sertima pointed out in They Came Before Columbus was a lot of the cotton seeds that are here in America that are not actually indigenous to America, which speak to the traveling back and forth, the cocaine that was found in like Ramsey, you know, thousands of years ago, it's only indigenous to America. You know what I mean? And so it talks about how our ancestors, you know, understood the importance of economy, which probably brings our attention back to today when he talks about being industrial. You know, but always listen to the key words, like the Sheikah, she pointed out. She pointed out for you. Yeah, what you got right there, Mo?
I just wanted to show you. I looked up the etymology for the sister since I don't know if she could find it.
Okay, so Moab, what do you mean?
I don't know. Can y'all see it? But I just wanted to say, yeah, it says from 1B as in who or may, water of, and 2, the noun ab, which means father. I just wanted to point that. Make sure y'all don't think I'm just coming with this. I'll just be coming with this off the, the head.
I told him you think outside the box, in the box at the same time.
Islam isn't the when we look at the key 101s, Moorish questions for Moorish Americans 30 to 34 explains what is the modern name for Moabite Moroccan? Where is the Moroccan Empire? Northwest Amexem, right? And what is the modern name for Amexem, Africa? And we go to our divine constitution, Act 6. What are some of the names given to the Moors of the Northwest? So how can you not then equate Northwest to be North America, but that we're not original to this land? Because Northeast and Southeast is explained in the chapter 45 to 47, and Northwest is exclusively explained to be of the Moors of Northwest Amexem. You know what I mean? So how can you then say this is not our original inhabitant? Because it says and means a plus. So if it extends from Northeast and Southeast to the present North, South, Central America, and is a plus.
So you say our origin, right?
Islam.
Okay, so what is the origin of the Moorish American? What is our origin? What is the origin of the Asiatic? What is our origin?
We come from Allah. We come from Allah, of course.
We come from Allah.
Of course.
That's right.
All of this right here on this planet, it's all it's all
Islam.
And doesn't the Holy Quran tell us that the earth is
across the planet Earth? We're gonna find ourselves everywhere.
Islam Sunday school teacher?
All over this earth, everywhere.
Islam Sunday school teacher. Doesn't the Holy Quran tells us that the whole earth is what?
Belongs to Allah.
That's right. It belongs to us to pray. We can pray anywhere we want to on this earth. It's all ours.
All so that's the thing. So like, when we start, where did we come from here on earth? We want to keep on. We gonna find ourselves everywhere. But the Prophet Ali told us exactly where we came from. He says that man is not the body nor the soul. He is the spirit and the part of Allah. That's where we came from. So when we showed up like this, we came from Allah. That's what's most important.
Man of original race. Man of original race means more.
Seed of the Father. That's right. So
But I know just as far as, with a lot of the family, they do kind of come with, when they come to the temple, they feel like Africa isn't really represented philosophically the same way that Asia is. You know what I mean? Like they kind of come to the degrees of, we mentioned within the Circle 7, it mentions Hinduism, it mentions Buddhism, but it doesn't necessarily mention a lot of the African spiritualities.
I believe that I'm assuming that from the sense where you're coming from, they are. First and foremost, what they call Asia today, all of it's the same land. Like you growing up the Dravidians, the original people of India, and you're right. The Hindus did come after the Dravidians, and then it's the same thing. Like okay, we talk about Palestine. Well, who is them people right now that's calling themselves that's killing Palestinians right now?
Those are pale skin. Europeans from the Baltic.
From Israel.
Islam.
They ancestors, they from Israel. They ain't come from there no kind of way. They trying to steal
No kind of way.
the same thing Jacob did. They trying to steal somebody else's birthright and blessing. And they over there killing Palestinians. Now when the brother pointed out, when the Prophet Ali, when they said, why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? To save the Israelites from the pale-skinned nations of Europe who were governing a portion of Palestine at that time. Of course they was only governing a portion, because if they was governing all of it, then there wouldn't have been no Palestinians left.
That's right. That's right.
And to add on to what the brother Moabites and who the Moabites are. It is basically the seed of a father. Seed of a father.
Islam.
Seed of a father. When we look at what they call Africa today, that is, just went over this in Sunday school, 2 Sunday schools ago?
That's right.
That
That's right.
is in the location of what you call, they call it sub-Afro Asia. And then right over top of it is Europe, right? And they call that Eurasia. Right? Now, we're looking at both of the land masses there. What we see as what we know as the quote-unquote continent of Africa today is new. That was not there. We see where America was the first.
Come on, wake us up. Wake us up.
Out of the water after the Great Deluge. We also see where it spoke to Europe being a very marshy land, right? And it speaks to the Slavs that were bred from that marshy land. When we're talking about, you look at today, and we're talking about these so-called modern Europeans and Palestinians and whatever else they want to call themselves. These are with the Slavic women. And so when you look at today, it is because of the Moors who had children with these Slavic women. This is why the prophet Noble Drew Ali said, we do not desire.
Come on now. Chapter 48, last chapter.
We do not desire to amalgamate and marry with the pale skinned nations of Europe.
Leave those people alone.
And the reason why is because these people can never own land. You are not only a Slav, but you are forever a Slav because we all get our blood source from our mother. So, baby, Papa's maybes.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Is how we was taught. So the only thing that the father could do is manumit them and give them a sense of freedom. But they are so much forever a Slav. Right, where the word slave derives from. And even when Prophet Noble Drew Ali talks about every nation suffering
slavery. That's right.
That suffering and law has everything to do with
wake us up.
Contracting and commerce.
Pushing that pen.
It has nothing to do with it being so burdensome and going through all the hurt and pain and anguish. That's not what the suffering that Prophet Noble Drew Ali was speaking about. He's talking about nations. So when he's talking about nations, he's talking about the political climate that every nation has suffered due to slavery. This problem of the Slavic woman and her children.
Islam.
So her children can never own land. This is the reason why you see her children everywhere in the world destroying.
That's right.
For the past several hundred years or so.
For the last
200 years now. Prior to that, they didn't have any freedom to go around and about and do they chose to do. They were sent on missions. They were given orders. See, this new turn of the century, they've been given an identity and a sense of freedom. And as the Sister KB was talking about, they are so afraid of us realizing, waking up to this. They're so afraid that they continue to go from location to location and, put these false flag military operations together. And I'm not just talking about here, because they all work in tandem no matter where they are in the world. Do not believe that these people are actually against each other.
That's right.
They're really against
Us.
the Asiatic
Wake up, you sleepy-headed people.
of America.
That's right.
It's Islam, sister, and I agree with what you're saying to a certain degree, but according to my studies as far as the ancient scriptures, no man can truly own land. All these things belong directly to Allah. Now, we are supposed to be custodians, and we, as far as mankind being Lord of the plane made manifest, we are supposed to be custodians of the land. You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, I would agree with you, because they have been taught and they follow the teachings of the lower self to a certain degree. They can't be a custodian of the land in that capacity. But from my understanding, that no real man can. Now, I understand what Prophet Noble Jubilee is saying. He's saying free national status and land makes the man. But I don't think that he was really coming at us that we need to own land or own these things individually so much as we need to own them nationally. You know what I'm saying? Because he couples being free national status and land being basically the same thing. You know what I'm saying? We have rights to the land. We have rights passage to the land specifically because of our bloodline. Like y'all was saying, our bloodline is from here. You know what I'm saying? We've been here. We built
Islam, Brother Miguel Bay.
Islam. Go ahead, man.
You got your Quran right there with you?
I was about to say, I was just about to break it open.
Okay, open your Quran to chapter 1.
Islam.
And Brother Javel Bay, why don't you come?
I also want to add real quickly. I also want to add real quick, because chapter 1 is going to go in and demonstrate and show us that we are Allah in man manifested in human flesh. So, like, a lot of us have been conditioned again in the mind to believe that Allah is a spook God daddy. And this spook
Sky Daddy. Here's Sky Daddy sitting up in the sky doing nothing.
The spook sitting up in the sky, performing all these miracles and putting all these limitations on man, right? And the spook Sky Daddy concept, we believe that we are not Allah and man being one, manifested in human flesh. So we talk about, oh no, we're not supposed to own land. That is from a slave indoctrinated mentality. Now, all of us have a nationality and identification card, right? Prophet Noble Ali, I just broke down a couple of holy nights ago where your nationality identification card is your verification that you now have your share.
Islam. That's right.
Because it is the verification of your very share of being in the nation.
Kingdom work. Kingdom building.
Ali gave instructions and said, Moors, we need businesses. We need industry. We need to do this. We need to be doing that. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And each and every one of us, as we do it, as being the national, it is poverty. We are doing it as a nation. I think a lot of times in our minds, we think that we're supposed to all come together and unify. We all just be on just
Sit in one big old church.
landmass, you know, like Jim Jones. That's not right. That's not what
Get your
it
sister,
is.
Miguel.
We're supposed to be all over.
Smile.
I was about to say, Moab, I didn't, excuse me, I wasn't trying to interrupt. I was just trying to say, Moab, I had put it on chapter 1, so I didn't know which part y'all was trying to have me look at specifically. No, we finna go over it. Oh, it's fine. So, Islam.
Islam, brother. I just wanted to also give the brother some etiquette. All right. So, anytime you want to ask something, just raise your hand. Islam.
Yeah, honest to the sister, I do apologize for that. I do
Honest to
apologize.
the grand governess. Islam. I'm the grand governess, bro.
Honest to the grand
Islam.
government.
Gratitude. I yield the floor back over to our Sunday school teacher, Islam.
So, now mind you, the definition of Moab, seed of the father, alright? Now, keep that in mind. So I'm going to read right here. See where it says,
Miguel said Islam.
So it says, a seed that held within itself the potency of Allah, just as the seed of any plant of earth holds deep within itself the attributes of every part of that special plant. So spirit man as seed of Allah holds deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. Now, seeds are perfect, yet as perfect as the source from which they come, but they are not unfolded into life made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the seed must be deeply planted in the soil that he might grow, unfold as does the bud unfold to show the flower. Now, this is the part I want you to pay attention to. The human seed that came forth from the heart of Allah was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. Alright? Foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of soul and of the plane of things made manifest. So don't think that you can't own land, brother.
That's right.
But is that? But see, this is the thing, and this is the only thing. And I agree with you, Moab. I was just gonna ask this one question: is that as an individual man, or is that mankind as an action of Allah? Okay, so whenever you read, when you read the Quran, remember that the Quran is about you. So you read in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is about you.
That's right. It's all personal.
And fall of man.
Get personal with this
In
demonstration.
previous Sunday school,
Like my wife
when
just
I started
did.
off in chapter 1, I used to have all of the Moors bring an ink pen to a pencil. And then right there in the heading where it says the creation and the fall of man, I would tell the Moors to scratch out man and to put their name right there. Alright? Because this is about you. Okay?
Okay, so and this is the only thing that I'm saying. So at the very top of the page of that chapter, it says man is neither the soul nor the body,
Right.
but an action of Allah. So if I were to put my name refers to my body. It doesn't necessarily refer to the action of Allah in which I am.
Actually, man is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit and a part of Allah.
Islam.
Your soul makes you an individual. See, the soul consists of the heart and the mind.
But you're not the soul.
Man, I'm trying to get to Brandon. He on his way from
The what?
Kareem or something.
The heart and the mind are the soul, brother. The mind, you what it says. It says, Creator faith gave the spirit man the soul that he might function on the plane of soul. The reason why we are able to have this conversation is because you and I have an individual soul. So we interact with each other using our individual thoughts. So I am Brother Maurice Pennington Baker. You are Brother Wayne Bryant, and I'm assuming that you are a baby. Cause you are
I'm a heel.
you a heel? Who gave you?
Yes, I'm a heel.
Who let you say you was a heel? But that's what makes you an individual. You have that soul. That's what makes you an individual. Okay? And if you read the Quran, throughout your Quran, it's going to tell you things like right there in that same part, it says the human seed came forth from the heart of Allah. It told us prior that man is the thought of Allah. So this thought came forth from the heart of Allah. Now we tend to believe that we think with our mind, because that's the way we've been taught, but our Quran didn't say something different. Because man is made in the image and after the likeness of Allah. Alright? Now as you keep reading in your Quran, it's going to tell you things about your mind. It's going to say, let us go with mind instead of land of flesh and things. He tells us that it's a workshop in the mind. He tells us how the mind works. He tells us how to work the Quran do. But you gotta get deep into it and study. Then you get to the soul of man. And it tells you the actions of the soul, thinking, understanding, feeling, and willing. These are the actions of the soul. So this tells you that the heart and the mind are the soul. It's part of the soul. It says search it by its faculties and know it by its virtue. It's talking about the two faculties of the soul, the heart and the mind. Okay? So I absolutely love the fact that you did studying and teaching me. At the same time, bro, I want to make sure that when we come to submission, moving forward until you graduate up out of here, I want to make sure you get asking the same type of questions, bring the same type of things, and coming with the same type of evidence. Islam.
Okay, so and this is gonna be my last question, then I'm gonna yield the floor. I'm gonna let everybody have their Sunday plan. So, from my understanding, absolute ownership is a part of Roman law. I have yet to see that anywhere in the sacred scriptures. So, would you say that is an action of the ego and not an action of the soul? That on a soul level, we do have communal property, that we are custodians of the land. It's only on the ego level that we want to have direct ownership of land as far as stuff being in our name. As far as our individual name, not our national name.
This scripture right here? In the book
Holy Quran.
The scripture?
Yes, Islam. Yeah, I agree. That is sacred script.
Okay, I want you to read the chapter of woman.
Yeah, on us, sir.
And Nisa.
Read
That's right.
the chapter of woman because it's going to talk about man dividing his property.
Come on now.
His property being divided after he changed amongst his people. In the Quran, Prophet Muhammad consistently talks about how we make sure that orphans receive their property.
Come on now. That's right.
It talks about lots and lots of property and
That's
how
right.
we regulate and how we govern.
Trust.
How we enforce the
Come
law
on.
in relation to the ownership of property. All right?
I mean, I agree. I was about to say I had just read chapter 4, and it definitely talks about as far as like making sure that orphans, the needy, and as far as women's rights to inheritance and such and so forth like that. And basically, I'm sure that would assume. I'm not sure if that so much applies to physical land as it does to financial wealth. Because I mean, as far as I know, because a woman, I think if somebody dies and they only leave, like I think like their mother will receive like 2/6 of the wealth. Like it's like I think it says like 2/6 of the wealth. So it seems like in their divisions, as far as when they're passing it down, is more referring to like financial wealth. I don't know if that necessarily can be applied to land.
Yeah, Miguel Bay. It's a lot of people believing in sky daddies out there, bro.
Specifically to land.
As more Americans.
Are you just saying I should go through it?
Well, if we look at the etymology of the word property, we just want to keep it basic, right? So on the very basic level, property, nature, quality, distinctive character always present in an individual or class. Later, possession, land, or goods owned, things subject to ownership, but this sense is rare before 17th century. All right, so when we're talking about property, again, it is anything that a owner owns. Right, so property could be a cow, right? It could be some chickens. Property can be physical land. Property can be a car, right? Whatever it is that the owner owns and then gives on to their progeny, then that progeny will receive according to whatever the owner wants them to have. All right. Another way to look at it is when we're talking about Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He was a king over an entire people. So when he spoke about, his property going to such and such and such and such, he made sure
he had a will.
All of his people was taken care of, and they all got their own share from his property, because that's what rulers who actually want to continue to be seen as a great ruler, even still to this day, we in 2024, we mention the name of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, because he was such of a great ruler. He made sure that everyone under him, all of his subjects, received their own share. And this is what Prophet Noble Drew Ali established for the Moorish Americans. Islam, I yield the floor back over to our Sunday school teacher.
Islam, brother Grand Governor Neil Bay, followed by brother JaVale Bay.
Islam. Praises be to Allah, honest to his prophet. I want to share with the Moors that we got to remember when Noble Drew Ali started this work, okay, the first charter said the Moors holy of the world. Okay? The way the Prophet Noble Drew Ali came, the Vatican mimicked him. Don't they own property throughout the world today? We got to wake up. We got to wake up. See, because they're playing games on us to keep us asleep while they try to take everything from us. The prophet told us, and the brother JaVale, I wanted him to unmute because he was actually putting it in the chat, that we have dominion. Okay? Remember, we are Allah in man. We, the Moorish American Muslims. We are a part of Allah, the physical flesh. Now, other schools of thought, Sufis and Al-Islam, they don't teach this. So we can say, this is ours. Because anything that belongs to Allah belongs to us. With that, I say peace. That's why he told us, come get your share. Come get your share. All of us get our share. Man, think about all this land they took from our great-great-grandmamas and our grandfathers. Took it.
Islam, Grand Governor, Islam, Grand Governors, I love you still today, Grand Governors. I'm not going to lie. But your demonstration was beautiful. And we should also know we are walking in the land. Allah, the husbandman, drew forth the seed. So we are walking land, right?
Come on now, wake us up.
You know what I mean? And another meaning for more is land. Go look it up. Islam.
Nice and simple. Nice and simple. Islam. Oh, that's that New York love. You know, they represent that New York in the house, y'all. That's all that is. Roy, Bay, all of them, they do that. That's that New York thing. But you see, the prophet tells us to keep it simple so we can get a clear drawing, understanding of what's been said and what's been done to us. Don't make it hard.
That's why I try to keep it simple with the etymology, really, of these words that we utilize every day, because we don't really understand the root of these words. Then that's the reason why we've had all of the spell casting.
That's how they got us.
Because we don't know that.
Exactly.
You know, a lot of times we're reading out of context. A lot of times that we're discussing something and we're explaining it, it's always out of context. So that's why I always go back to the root, which is the etymology of these words, so that we can really truly understand what Prophet Noble Drew Ali was saying when he said these things. Islam, I get it.
Islam, governors, come back.
Islam.
I want to travel. I want to go where you just went. You used a term that I believe that we need to teach the people about. You said spell casting, and basically what you're saying is the act of European psychology, or the acts of European psychology that's being perpetrated against us right now are spells that's being cast on us.
That's right.
Break that down for the people so they can really understand.
I wish we had the doctor on here, Dr. Alicia. Go ahead and do it, babe.
Islam, indeed, the spells that's put on us.
Go ahead.
What's called word magic, right?
Word
That's
magic.
a modern name for it, word magic. And the reason why it's called word magic is because word actually is a science. So the word magic is equating to the word science.
Like more science?
Word science. It's a part of more science. Word science.
Fruit word gonna love that.
Mothers and fathers of civilization. So as mothers and fathers of civilization, we created the word science. The formulas for which we put in it. A lot of times you'll hear people say bastardized language. No, the English language is a trade language. It's a trade language. No matter where you are in the world, if you put your two fingers up like bunny ears and you turn it upside down and you wiggle it, right? It means walk, and no matter what language.
And you just keep it up, it's peace. You keep it up, it's peace.
It means walk. All right. So again, that's just showing that English is a trade language. So when we talk about word spells, we have been conditioned from the public school education system.
Their system, their science.
Know the word spells. Now, the older generations knew the word spells. As a matter of fact, they knew that the words were so much of spells, right? Remember back in the day when we were all growing up, and the older people didn't want us to know what they were saying, and they would start to get out and start speaking, and it sounded like they were speaking in tongues, but the language that they were speaking in was a form of some type of pig Latin.
Say what? Say what? What y'all talking? You know, I don't know none of that.
Because they understood the power of the word spell or the word magic. And they knew that our ears were too tender, too young to hear certain things. So they did not allow us to hear certain things. Now today, the internet, these children are provided with so much that we just were guarded from. Even if we were out in the street, so even if we were latchkey children, lock-key children, if we were lock-key children, at the same time we still did not have access to the world that the children have access today?
Islam.
Key latch children. The word spells, we have always been masters of. We got to get back to the word spells. Most of the time, we only hear it and see it in the art that they call rap music today. A lot of times.
Yep.
In rap music, we hear it a lot because we hear a lot of the metaphors, right? And those are also different word spells. But we got to get back into knowing the root words of the word so that we can properly apply them. Because the Moors are so beyond in our understanding as a whole. When I sit and I listen to other groups of Asiatics who don't know that they're Asiatics, who don't call themselves Moors, and then I listen and I'm sitting in Holy Night meeting with Moorish Americans, it's literally like day and night.
Facts.
When I'm sitting in the temple, it's literally like I'm sitting in kindergarten. When I'm sitting in these other groups of Asiatics, is as if I'm sitting in collegiate courses. So the Moors are extremely behind when it comes to even understanding and breaking down our own lessons.
That's right.
Moors have to grow up in our lessons, and we gotta stop allowing the leaders and the teachers to be lazy and explaining to us and breaking down these lessons to us. And if they don't know, they need to go and get a good European education to find out. Because it's not as if the information is not there. If the other Asiatics who are unaware and unconscious of who they are have it, then what is wrong with the Moorish Americans? We should be the first ones who's out here spearheading
Teach.
the education
Come on, wake us up. Wake us up. Wake us up.
for our people. But you don't see us doing this because, again, a lot of it is just going through the questionnaire, who made you? Allah. And then no one is actually getting into the word. Like, really, what does Allah mean? You know, how are we applying Allah to our everyday life? Like, where do we see Allah? Like, we're not really getting into that. We get into, just, the sky daddy. And we keep it moving as if this is what Prophet Ali actually gave us. I yield back over to you, brother, school teacher.
Islam, Sheikh, and the Prophet Ali began, to uplift the Moorish Americans by teaching them to be themselves. And he started educating us on the word science, because words mean things. They have real meaning. Names mean things. That's why it was so important for us, to have these eels and these babes, and then to come into the knowledge of what it means to be a babe, to be a governor, what it comes to the knowledge to be an eel, to be a creator, to have that power. Like, if you got a problem, you eel and create a solution, create, if you don't like your situation, then create a new one. If something is going wrong in your life, take control of it, govern the situation. Like, this is stuff that this is a part of just naturally being who and what we are. But it gets so deep, it's questions in this questionnaire. Like the Prophet, he asks us, where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. He just gave you a word match. He just told you exactly how to make a Jesus. He just told you exactly how. He just told you what type of conditions that you need to surround this baby with. He just told you exactly what type of man, the house of David, which it means something like a Christ, that it takes to raise up this type of child. He gave us, this is deep, but this is the beginning. This is where it starts. He gave us the keys to go and unlock all the other doors. And the Sheikh is so correct. I mean, I visited some of these meetings too, and in my mind, I be saying to myself, like, man, if they keep on studying at this pace, it's gonna take them 5-6 million years to get up out of the crap that they in right now. Literally, like real talk. You know,
It's a real sad situation because it makes the Morris Americans as a whole look as if we are like we on a short bus. When you go to other circles, and other circles are literally breaking down whole entire scientific theories and studies. Like I was listening earlier to a breakdown on vitamin D, right? And even though the brother was incorrect about it, but at the same, because I got an actual study that debunks his study, but I'm just like, wow, More Science Temple of America, we're in meetings and we don't really get into any of the science of Moorish science. And this is the reason why every time when I only take small portions. Right? Rarely do I go and I'll take a whole entire chapter and read through it and just say, okay, well, this is what the chapter means. Right? I like to take small portions out of the chapters and build an entire lesson off of it so that you actually can utilize, so you can see it in its historical terms, so that you can see it in your family's life, so that you can see it in your life in real time right now, because this is how you actually apply more science. As our brother chairman always says, that more science is an applied science.
Wow.
And if we're not applying it to today, what are we really doing? Just making meetings.
Teach.
Who sounds the best in a meeting? And most of the time it's just someone just reciting something that was from the divine instructions from the Holy Prophet and put a spin on it real quick, remixed it for the low, packaged it, and
That's
sold
right.
it back to us. And then we'll say, oh man, that's a good teacher. That teacher is deep. Wow. They haven't even gone, no, for real, because most of our leaders, to keep it all the way real, most of our leaders and teachers read at a 4th grade level. So if you're reading at a 4th and 5th grade level, that's how you're teaching.
Come on.
It's a disgrace.
Come on.
And then when you have educators that come in, the first thing that the Grand Sheik, the Supreme Grand Sheik, and all these other Supremes, and Grand Mans, and all these other people want to go and run them out because they are able to display in a very educated tone. And so now they feel like, oh man, now everybody gonna be following them and listening to them. No, everybody gonna be following and listening to the Prophet, because now they can actually utilize, they can visualize in real time what the Prophet was saying and how this more science is gonna save them right now.
That's right.
How it's gonna save their children right now. How it's gonna save their marriage right now. How it's gonna save their finances right now.
Food, shelter, and clothing. Teach on it, baby.
I showed the Moors Holy Night where you have illegal immigrants.
Come on.
Had first possession in order to have somewhere to lay their heads.
Man, they about to be in the temples. Watch. They about to be in the Moorish Science Temple of America because they know what we can do and what we can't do. Watch them.
Ain't nobody calling them sovereign citizens.
Not one. Nobody.
And they are a United Nations protected class, just like the Moorish Americans are.
They took 2 buildings on the south side of Chicago about 3 months ago on 79th. It's theirs now.
And the landlord can't do nothing. This is a protected class.
He can't do nothing. They breaking you up.
Our people that's
Oh, there
living
you go.
in tents. And then you go and you look in your city. And in your city, you know where the tent city is. You go and you look at the tent city in your city and you see all of those brown, copper color Asiatic faces living in tents.
That's right. Keep it real.
It's a disgrace.
Slum.
Where you have illegal immigrants that have come over here and demonstrate the law. And you got Moors in the temple that's telling Moors, "Oh, Moor, don't do that. That's not, you ain't supposed to do that. The prophet didn't bring that. That's not what you're supposed to do." First and foremost, the prophet said that, and I'm paraphrasing, that the Constitution of the United States of America is one of the best pieces of literature that was ever written.
And can I add to that? The Supreme Court respects the Holy Quran as the revealed word of Allah.
Islam.
You better put it together. That's why the prophet says our authority. Again, the U.S. Supreme Court respects the Holy Quran, not the Bible, as the revealed word of Allah.
Here it is. You have so many people that was kicked
That's right.
out of their
That's right.
homes for foreclosures. And you got illegal immigrants coming over here utilizing adverse possession. Y'all, we better wake up.
Ain't nobody called them sovereign citizen yet. They out here doing everything under the sun. They doing,
Ain't nobody gonna call them sovereign citizens.
man, they out here robbing, stealing, and everything. They ain't just taking property. They moving as criminals throughout the land. $9,000. They giving them $9,000 in Chicago a month. We better wake up. But see, the plan is for them to come here and do what we didn't do. But I guarantee you, they're going to make it their way to the Moor Science Temple of America. Watch.
It's Sister Santiago has her hand raised.
Islam.
She ain't saying nothing.
Islam, Sister Santiago, where you at? You got your hand raised?
I'm sorry, my mic was muted. Islam, I'd like to know what exactly does utilizing adverse property mean? And excuse my ignorance.
Give it to her.
Islam.
Islam, yes, this adverse possession is a process to be able to take blighted property. That's all adverse possession is. So every state, most cities have a program. Some counties have a program for you to be able to keep up the look within your community, right? Because when the weeds overgrow and the house begins to fall down, what happens is your property value goes down. So the citizens are supposed to be able to go in and take care of the property, keep the upkeep on it. And when you do it, you then can take it and put it into your possession. So now you have the property now. A lot of times, most stipulations is that you have to hold it for a certain amount of time. A lot of times is you have to be able to, if you're going to be utilizing it, you can utilize it for your personal home, or if you're going to be providing some type of housing for low income persons within the community. But you can't take it and like flip it and make a profit off of it. It's supposed to be a way for you to be able to keep your property value up within your community, or help the property value in the community go up by maintaining the property. So that's adverse possession.
Islam says, would that also be eminent domain in the same sense?
Eminent domain is different. Eminent domain is the government institution coming in and taking your property.
Oh,
and,
taken. They come
having
take
to-
it from you.
having to pay you for it. A lot of times, if they're going in and they're going to create a highway, if they're going to create a facility that's needed, like a hospital or something like that, that's going to be state ran or state governed. If they're going to be or something like that, that's the only time that they can do like an eminent domain situation. As long as it's in the incorporation, so it has to be in incorporated land, not unincorporated land. And then also within the incorporated land structure, they have to remedy them taking your property by providing you with compensation. That's the law of eminent domain. It's not my
And one more question, sister. Is that in New York, they have like a squatters right law? Like
Y'all cooking today. Y'all cooking.
New York,
Woo.
they have some people that, kind of crazy. And they would
most
take
states
houses.
still. Yeah, most states still have squatters' rights.
Right. So once you in the house, they got to pay you to leave it. Like they can't just kick you out, and the bank or whoever is, they can't really
Right.
kick you out without.
Right.
You know what I mean? So would that be the same as adverse, right? In the same realm, right, sis?
Yeah, that is the same as adverse possession. In the same route, I would say look into the things about Moors is that really upset me with Moors when they do adverse possession is Moors will go and take the smallest things, like
Or
Moors will
raggedy
go in and
property.
take in
Raggedy property. Come on.
whole apartment complexes. Like Moors aren't going in and go and get some ran down apartment complexes. Go in and get something where you'll be able to house you and a large family.
I hear you,
go
Cold
in
Mountain
and
Bulldog.
get something that's actually that's owned by the bank or some management company. Stop going in and taking hard-working people that work overtime.
Come on now. Come on. Make it plain.
To put down 10 to 20% of what they save in order to get them and their children and their family a home. Stop doing that. That's raggedy. That's not being a Moor, and that's not
That's that
utilizing
ratchet lower
adverse
self.
possession properly. Islam, I yield.
That's that lower self. Hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms.
Islam, Moors, and that concludes Sunday school. So
Sunday school teacher, they said they ready to go all day. They want to go until we break fast. You didn't see that?
Islam, we thank you, brother Sunday school teacher. Today,
Okay, we'll keep the line
enjoyed
open then. We keep the line open. We keep the line open.
Islam.
I know I was gonna say, we ain't going nowhere. But we
Islam.
we done went through the prescribed course.
Islam.
Now we can go wherever we want to.
Okay.
So, but I hope it was a lot. We ain't good today. So I hope the more.
Yeah, vegan everything. Everything vegan. No pig at all. No beef, no pig. Everything vegan. And y'all loved it.
No salt and tomato. No salt and tomato.
I like
Hey, that's-
tomatoes.
Hey, that's a Southern Illinois thing. That's an Illinois thing. Salt and tomato. Hey, they don't know nothing about the salt and tomato, brother Maurice. They don't know. Who else know about the salt and who else know about salt and tomatoes?
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all about something real quick before I yield back to the children. When I was little, my big sister Punky, she used to make me fried green tomatoes and salmon patties.
Oh yeah, that's Southern Illinois for real. That's down here.
Like 4 years old. She used to have fried green tomatoes piled up on the plate. This
Man, you know what you know?
Piece of little
True Americans. That's how true Americans always ate.
That is not how we ate. I don't know what y'all talking about.
New York in the house. New York, New York, New York. Y'all need to come on down, go to Mississippi, and then you leave Mississippi, you get a clear understanding of us here in Carbondale, Illinois, Chicago, Arkansas, Alabama, Missouri. Yeah.
That is not how we ate. It's
Who else in here know about tomatoes and salt, picking off the tree, right, to make blueberries? Oh, man, I did all that with my grandma.
Yeah, we did that.
Oh, y'all did the blueberry pies? You know about the blueberry pies?
With salt, and we had the blueberries that we was able to pick, but we was not eating fried green tomatoes.
Oh, man, you missed out. We're going to have Sister K. Bay make you some fried green tomatoes. She gonna smack off of those, Sister K. Bay. Watch.
I got her next visit and a salmon croquette pack.
She don't know.
And that thick syrup that go with it.
Ooh. She don't know. She don't know.
Don't worry, sis. We gonna push you up when we see you. We gonna bring it to you.
Man, on YouTube, y'all get 100s. 100s.
Let me get some of this. Yes, Sister K. The salmon croquettes with the syrup that it's called what is that syrup?
Argo.
Absolutely.
Ooh-wee.
Make sure the biscuit is brown and soft
And flaky.
Absolutely.
And
And some rice.
some rice now.
I don't know what else.
Rice and butter.
With rice and butter. Islam?
Rice and butter. That's right.
Biscuit.
And oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tacos at convention.
Hey, those were not tacos. Those were not tacos. That was just something thrown together. We're gonna be real about that. That was not tacos.
We didn't throw that together. That was a meal, brother. That was a meal, brother.
No, you weren't at this convention, sis. This convention has taco bars, so that's why. If you know, you know. That's why we keep mentioning that. You had to be at a convention 4 years ago on a holy day.
Hey, YouTube says,
talk about those tacos.
hey, Cold Mountain Bulldogs, which is a more Aboriginal as well, says poke salad. What y'all know about poke salad?
I don't know nothing about what none of that is. That is a stuff for Allah. I don't know.
It's not pork. It's not pork. It's POLK.
Yeah, I don't
Wow. New York don't eat that?
I don't see the brothers trying to keep the class going. That's what he really doing.
Well, no, our brother from New York said he want to go all the way into 7, so I'm with that too. But we're gonna keep it going down. I mean, we gonna hand it over. But Cold Mountain Bulldog said, man, y'all got to get up with the poke salad, POLK, not POR. Come on now, y'all ain't never had to go out there and pick that, then bring it back in and cook it. Nobody? Wow.
You
know how they did down in Mississippi.
No, Yeah, is that some greens like kale?
Now some people think it's greens. Yeah, some people think it's greens. It's not greens though. It's like a green. Yeah, and the brother just put it in the chat too. It's like a green, but it's not greens. It's actually rough.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was like greens.
So you chewing on a rough, like a rough leaf?
Man, it's gonna clean you out.
Like you cook collard greens or mustard and turnip.
That's right. That's right.
By yourself.
Yep.
And you put your seasonings in there, and it's not pork. There's no pork in it.
No pork whatsoever. No pig at all. POLK.
But it is a green. It's a green.
And most people use it to heal themselves. Look, some people use it to heal themselves now. Grandma had you go out there and pick that.
I've never had that. I'm just going on hearsay
Islam, let me call and say that for the record. I've never had it. I've only had mustard and turnip greens.
Well, you right on it, sis, because it's rough. It's rough like
that. That's what I'm used to from my parents who were from the South, Mississippi and Alabama, and then mommy, had her relatives in Louisiana. Okay, but we did the gumbo. Islam, come on with the gumbo. Well,
I love a gumbo, man. Gumbo,
I love gumbo.
My family.
That's because y'all see New York like that.
Gumbo
seafood.
Like I remember, Nigerians call it jollof rice. I've never heard of that. I used to have jambalaya rice, right? And I'm like, and then now they're like saying it's from Nigeria. I'm like, what? How is jambalaya rice from? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've only eaten that here, and you know what I'm saying? But definitely jambalaya. Oh, I love the Cajun chicks. I had a whole month when I was just cooking nothing but Cajun flavor and seasoning, man. I love that.
Yes. Yeah, that's how we ate when we go down south to visit my grandmother in South Carolina. We eat her version of gumbo was jambalaya rice was called red rice. That's what they call it.
That's what they call the islands too. Like Atlantis islands are red rice.
Yep, they call it red rice, and that red rice was so delicious.
I bet. Well, we used to just make the rice, put the beans in there. It was red beans and rice. Red beans and rice with whatever bread you wanted, cornbread or biscuits or hot water cornbread. I'm not laughing at you, sis. I'm laughing at you. I know you're not.
We are broke fast.
That's what he said. Jesus said, if you think about it, and you already done committed to sin.
But I'm not thinking about Islam. Let me say that. I'm not thinking about it. No. Because actually you should be fasting as well from evil thoughts and set your hands up.
That's right.
You're fasting forgiveness of your sins and the sins of those who have committed trespasses against yourself.
Come on now.
That's not consuming food and drink.
Come on, you get 100s all through YouTube.
Manifestation.
Islam.
Listen, gumbo from the Bay Area is like a fantasy. That's what's up.
Oh my goodness.
Gumbo from the Bay.
Nobody on here know about poke salad. Poke or PLK.
Yes. We all poke salad.
There go my sister.
I was just gonna see what you gonna ever talk today.
Yes, brother, you just spoke my mind. Islam. Oh, good to hear your voice. Islam, sis.
Doctor, Assistant Grand Sheik, what is poke salad?
It would be the equivalent of Mercurochrome. Okay. The fact that any of y'all do y'all remember Mercurochrome?
Yes, that's that red stuff they put on mommy, put on my
leg.
If you
leg, if you had a concussion, if you were hemorrhaging.
Come on now.
If a body part was missing, you just put Mercurochrome on there and it was gonna be fine, but what you wasn't gonna do was go to the doctor. That's not going to happen.
Come on now.
And so most of you all are not familiar with it because it is a southern food because it has to grow in a hot atmosphere. So it comes from the poke weed. And so that actually has a seed to it that almost looks like mini blueberries. And it is excellent for internal bleeding. It's also excellent for, it helps with herpes, those that are still suffering from herpes, and it also helps to cleanse the blood.
Stop, sister. Stop. So you just told me my grandma was feeding these people all this stuff because she knew that they were dealing with herpes.
See, if you're in tune with the spirit, you can smell different diseases on a person because it comes out of your pores.
Yeah, my great grandma was hoodoo.
Some of our brothers and some of our sisters get victimized by people who know that they have herpes, know that they have AIDS, know they have these things, but if you don't ask me, then I'm not going to tell you. It's because
That's right.
their vibration is not high enough to actually smell it, because it will come out through your pores. Because it's a low vibration, so the higher your vibration is, and this is why the prophet actually took time to warn our brothers about the women that they chose to lay with.
Come on.
For our sisters to be able to be clear, you're not there just for a man's pleasure. That you're there to pleasure, and to be pleasured. But that's not the only. So when you see that that's what you're being asked to do, and that's all your real function is, then it should send some things off. But the poke salad, your grandmama was definitely what the world would call a witch, because she knew that she was doing alchemical processes, feeding that to them to begin to flush out their blood. And so this is why it is an admonishment that we not eat things that have blood in them, because if your blood is impure and then you're putting the blood of another animal that has shock toxins in it, it can actually exacerbate the what you have going on in your blood. And so this is why when you even look at some of the satanic scriptures within the Bible, they talk about the power in the blood and all of those different things when they say to eat my blood and to drink my blood and to eat my flesh. All of those things, there are ritualistic things that have been added in. So this is why you know that we're dealing with perversions in some of the, from 1611 up, because if you go to the Geneva Bible, many of these spells were not placed in there.
Facts.
And we have to be very, very careful.
Facts.
A lot of us will go to church with our grandmothers to make her happy and participate in communion. And see, you have to be able to draw the line somewhere. And then when you send your children and you let your children, for the sake of peace, or the sake of not upsetting grandmama and all those things, and you let your children go for communion. Because see, grandmama think if she have them do communion, that's going to cover them. But
They saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost.
What are we really covering those babies with, so that they come home and they're bringing home that ritualistic spirit? And so when you get some type of rebellion out of them, you're ready to beat them, but you were a partaker because you allowed them to go, because that's my mom and that's her grandmama. No, you have a fiduciary responsibility to protect that child. This is what your grandmother was doing, Grand Governor. He was able to, she was actually able to discern what they were experiencing. And so anyone that's suffering with those types of diseases, who deeply need their blood cleaned, poke salad is excellent. Now, poke salad is nasty. And so usually what grandmamas would do is to take that astringency out of it.
Dress it
up. They would take some turkey neck. They would take some, other types of necks that we as Muslims don't use. But that's what they would do, and then put a large amount of onion and cut up some purple cabbage within it in order to lift the flavor.
That's right.
That's right. Flavor. If you've ever had, what do you call those things? Dandelion. It puts you in that same family.
Yep.
But if you're trying to purify your blood, I would juice it and drink it. It's not delicious, but it's going to clear you. And any brothers that are suffering with any type of kidney stones, gallstones,
ED,
it's going to help you to break them up and to urinate them out.
That's right. Sis, don't go. I got one more question for you.
Tell us about the salt tomato. Is the salt tomato good? Because I seen brother ran governance, but about the salt tomato.
I didn't put about the salt.
No, he talking about me. He talking about me. He talking about me.
On her tomatoes, or if you call I said when we was growing up, we was eating our tomatoes with salt on it. Oh yeah, right, absolutely. And we would do a little pepper on it. Then cut them up. Sometimes you threw a little cucumber on there. That's what we did when we were wealthy.
Stop. Y'all making me hungry. Stop. Cucumbers, tomatoes. Oh, my Lord.
Tomato, eat the whole tomato.
Okay, wait just a moment. There was offense. There was someone that said they put salt on a mango.
Yes.
Keep that right
Yes.
in our private circle within our temple. We don't never want that to go out. As a matter of fact, we want to strike that from the record.
Well, it's on YouTube already. He destroyed the mango.
I be doing that sometimes too. I be using that Himalaya salt. That pink salt. Salt, that pink salt, make that pink salt.
So when all of you talk at one time, and I am extremely psychic, it makes it kind of convoluted, and so I don't get none of it. So I want to be able to greatly enjoy the mango with salt on it.
It's famous.
That's a New York thing.
Hispanic community. Mango with the salt.
Is that a New York thing?
Yeah, it is.
So, sorry, brother, you're Hispanic now? Right. That's what I'm saying.
My family from the Atlantis Islands, part of my family. And they like reunion in the is like North South Carolina. Like
Yes.
So we have like salt and mango is what we would put. We wouldn't do no salt and tomato. That seems kind of
No, we don't want to offend the salt and tomatoes if we're now doing salt and mangoes. We really can't, no, because
green mangoes, not the right.
Oh, okay.
Now that's different because you don't even usually eat the greens.
That's gonna be like mofongo. Now we're having a different conversation because, all right, because I was just like, you're taking away from the natural purity and excellence. But if you got the green ones, you do that to bring the sweetness out. Now I can be with you, absolutely, even until the end of the age. Yes.
With that tomato too. Gotta get that tomato
with the salt and tomato.
You gotta get the salt, brother. You gotta get the salt and tomato. You gotta do it. I would have that right now.
Yeah, if you had a beefsteak, right. If you had a beefsteak tomato and put the salt, if you want to use the Himalayan sea salt, you want to do a little bit of cilantro, and then you want to do a little pepper, and that becomes an actual ministry unto your soul. Right now, as hungry as I am in the midst of Ramadan, we're having this conversation. That's affecting my life.
Man, y'all know how to whatever we eat tonight gonna be good.
I'm going to the refrigerator as soon as the sun go down. And
you said the prison raider? You said the prison raider, sister?
I said the refrigerator.
The refrigerator. Okay, because I wanted to know. I know that you're the great missionary of the United States, and I didn't.
Oh no, sister. Oh no, please do not.
Yeah, the great missionary of the United States.
The chairman said this is dangerous. I humble myself and I take off my spiritual crown and just give all of my praise to the great God Allah. And I walk and be guided by whatever He said me to do and don't do.
South Carolina, I hear you, brother.
Also for the record. Oh my goodness.
I want to understand Miss Cleo here in the Moving Without Motion channel picture. I'm a little disturbed by that depiction, and so since we're here, I just want to know, because then you got some.
Oh my God! Please stop recording, please. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Don't say nothing else.
This is on YouTube. This is on YouTube. They got jokes today.
I do have a share about being Moorish American.
Okay, come on, brother.
It's not because coincidentally, I'm hungry right now. So I had to eat. Coincidentally, I've
been carrying on this habit since I heard it was Ramadan. Well, you wake up, you hungry, and then you realize, oh, it's Ramadan, and I ain't even ate yet, and then I can't eat until I get off work. So
you didn't do your sahur?
You're supposed to start your morning off with.
That's a mandate for us.
Yes, it is.
You're supposed to in the morning before sunrise.
Absolutely, but you're supposed to do that when you pray.
That's
come out of your fast. You pray.
That's actually something the gym.
Break my fast.
Thank you.
I can only give note to the coincidence.
To last you.
You're gonna give notes to the coincidence.
Y'all cooking.
I didn't purpose the practice.
That's a
study, yeah.
Okay, this
so,
just
but it was the coincidence that got me even looking further practice.
Got it.
Okay. It makes sense now. Makes sense.
Grand governors and grand governor is that we're actually going to have classes starting in October to prepare anyone that's interested in Ramadan to really understand what it is
Inshallah.
and all of the blessings that come with it. I got a chance to actually experience it firsthand. So, because I'm going to be real, I haven't righteously done Ramadan in 9 years since I took my Shahada. I did it the first year because I did my Shahada when in 2015 when I got married, because I married a Muslim, and I took my Shahada during Ramadan, right? So it wasn't like I could just do what I wanted to do because he was right there. So I did a righteous Ramadan the whole time, and since then, I kind of played with Ramadan, but this year I am doing Ramadan, and when I tell you that even with my business, people have been sending referrals to me, just like, hey, I know 6 people that need insurance. I'm like, I know you lying. And then I call them and they're like, yeah, do you take credit cards? Yes, I do. Okay, let's do it. I'm like, what? And so what it's showing me is that Allah wants us to have the ease. And so when we actually start to tap into the parts of Islam that work and align with what the Prophet have taught us, then we are able to, especially with Ramadan, because what we missed was Rajab and Shaban. There are blessings that come with those 2 months. That's the 7th and the 8th month before this 9th month of Ramadan.
Biblical as well.
We end up missing so much. And so I like to I want to be a blessings thief. Every time an opportunity is there for me to receive a blessing, just because I'm in obedience, I want to be able to do it. So when we make our prayers, every time we make salat, we continue to raise our vibration. You can't do salat on a regular basis, pray your Moorish American prayers, and your vibrations stay low. You just can't do it. And so you start to make yourself attractive. Because if we're going to be Moorish American Muslims, we got to be the message that we bring. We can't bring a broke message. We can't bring a broken message. And so a lot of times, we try to separate ourselves like, you're a Muslim and I'm a Muslim. No. There is so much in common that works together for our good. We have to remember where we get our authority from. And so you have to be able to read and have reading comprehension. Everything in there, like as Moorish Americans, brothers don't beat their wives lightly.
That's right.
We simply don't do that. We don't subscribe to that. So we have to understand what aligns with what our Prophet has done. So if you can imagine taking everything that our grand governess has taught us, bringing in the spirituality, bringing that all together, do you understand where our rank is, how high we continue to go? Because we meet everybody where they are, and we are actually able to bring them to a place where they can make their conditions better.
Islam. I want to add on that. Gratitude for sharing that.
Yes,
Sister Grand Sheik is we ain't gonna find him in the masjid.
That's right. That's
out
right.
in the streets.
That's right.
Yes. It's protecting him. That fasting is protecting.
Never misses a second. When I tell you, he is on top of every fast. I don't even know what app he got on his phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm telling you, he don't go to the masjid.
He don't have to. There's not a requirement to.
No, he don't. But he
on that
don't
Monday
miss
and that Thursday.
fast.
There it is. He's probably doing Monday and Thursday, and he's doing the white days, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. You do those things, I'm telling you, stuff starts to move out of your way. Finances come in, because when the financial piece is off of the table, one of the things that I'm working on right now is my whole entire security suite, so that I can come in here and I can help everybody to get free. All the extra money that we're getting from Grand Governors, from all that she's teaching us, now I'm going to show you how to make that money double and triple. And that's what I'm fully concentrated on doing right now. That's the best way that I can serve all of us, because us being financially tight, for what? We are working entirely too hard for a lot to be broke.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I took my shahada, and now, you know, in New York, everybody would, you know, I was the one wearing like the Muslim outfit. I knew a lot of people on the block. They'd be like, "Why you wear that dress, man?" And I remember the first time I did fasting, I cheated. I drank some water. For the last 3 years, man, everybody know me as a Muslim. Like they've only in the inner circle know I'm a Muslim, but everybody else see me walking up and down Fulton, right? This year, this fasting really made me cry, because there are people that don't have nothing to eat or drink all day. They got nothing to drink all day.
Come on.
And I'm like, I went a whole day each day, and I'm like, I feel the bottom of my stomach.
Yes.
And just to have the, you know, when I'm at the nighttime, you know, and it's kind of, I'm picking out water, drink, food, I'm going crazy. I'm like, but there are people that don't even have it.
They don't have it. They have no iftar.
At all.
There is no iftar for them at all. And so that's where it gets deep.
I say this to all my brothers in Morrisburg. I say, yeah, you can always hit me up for a meal, a date, or anything.
Yes.
Because that is crazy.
Absolutely. And because we have people listening, we want to make sure we're bringing clarity. The date that the brother is speaking about, we actually eat dates to break our fast. So he was not inviting anyone to go out on a date. He was actually
Islam, but he is looking for a wife. Islam, indeed. So
That part. So he do want a date.
looking for a date.
Miss Cleo, it just damages me every time you put that picture up there. I need that to stop, because you got the little flashing light that says, call me now, and it's just wounding me. And then you got the little stars all over the shirt, and it's causing me a lot of pain. It just really is. But Home Office has their hand raised.
Islam, I wanted to share, you know, it's definitely a blessing to see Moorish American Muslims who are not prejudiced to Ramadan.
That's right.
Or not prejudiced to one of the pillars of Islam, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, right? And fasting is in there. Like, if we want to be great adepts, and I know people are listening, to be a great adept of Noble Drew Ali, you must study the Holy Quran. And the best way to study the Holy Quran is meditation and fasting. Meditation and fasting. Prophet Muhammad did it. Jesus did it. Noble Drew Ali did it. Now, what you gonna do? That's all I want to say. Islam.
And beloved, just so that I can camelback on what you're sharing, what I am noticing is that, I know this factually. Fasting kills your ego. You can't fast and live in ego.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
What we're killing is your option to eat what you want to, when you want to, because you've grown enough to do it. It's not even anything about you being hungry. It's about you saying, Allah, this is the prescription you gave me. So I'm going to take the prescription just like you gave it to me. And so when you're making salat while you're fasting, your spiritual ears are more in tune, because you're killing the ego. Our nafs, which is ego, those nafs are what are destroying us. And so we're able to then even move past offenses. Because when we hold on to an offense, that's nothing but ego. Ramadan, and I am just so, I've lost like 18 pounds, and I want to continue this. I'm going to do the 6 days of Shawwal, inshallah, but I'm excited about where Governor is being open to teaching all the Moors that want to know what it is, how to do it, how it's better.
That's right.
Fasting all day, all night.
Come on.
And it's not a game.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
We
So
got brothers that's playing in the NFL. Hey, sis.
In Atlanta.
Sis.
They're fasting. They're jogging 5
Sis.
miles a day. They're doing all of that because if you do your suhoor the hour before, you make sure that you've got healthy food in your body. And then you make a conscious decision, and we are in so much of a blessing that this is happening during March. This is how
That's why
it's not the middle of the summer where you're looking at 15, 16, 17 hours. But what happens is your stomach capacity actually shrinks. So after a while, because the hunger pains only last 15 minutes. After that hunger pain is gone, then it's not applicable. So if you make sure that you have coconut water with your suhoor and coconut water, you're getting your proper hydration and you're simply not hungry.
Wow.
And let me ride with my sis. She just shared some things. Islam.
And also it's defeating again the lowest of is our physical body. It's our physical body. If you can defeat desires of the physical body, you're almost halfway where you need to be according to our laws and Quran, right?
Islam. Let me.
That's right. That's why Kyrie is winning.
That's why I was trying to share that earlier. He says that I'm fasting.
And if you can imagine how much energy he's exerting going up and down that court, and he is killing the game because he is committed to this. He's raising his children as Muslims. So
brothers and sisters, can you hear me?
to see him stand up in that
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Let me share with y'all.
We can hear you.
The first person I knew to actually fast the month of Ramadan was Muhammad Ali. And when I seen Muhammad Ali also jog 15 miles, okay, in 98-degree weather, okay, then I knew I can do this.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? For the last 15 years of my life, I still work out when I fast. I have not been on the weights, but I still work out. The brothers in the penitentiary work out still during the month of Ramadan. And they hold up to it. They not breaking it. If they cheat, we don't know about it. Everybody's trying to do it to really receive the reward from Allah. And you're going to lose weight. And then the blessing about this, sis, like you just shared, this year here, I can't call this a hard year. But I do remember the hard years.
Oh my goodness, it has not been. And the blessing too is that, see, prayer is for us, but the fast is for Allah.
There you go.
This is something we can actually say that we have given to Allah. This is the one thing
For
that we
Allah,
can
that's right.
actually give to Allah. And in doing that, you begin to shift everything in you because Allah becomes the priority. So when you say Allahu Akbar, Allah is greater. He is greater than he's greater than my ego. He's greater than any issue I'm going through. He's greater than my financial circumstances, my marriage, my absolute everything. So when we begin to now say Allah is greater, because we get it messed up. Allah is the greatest. He is, but Allahu Akbar means Allah is greater. He is greater than. And so whatever is being presented to me, it has nothing on Allah. So you never feel like you're in this all by yourself. You never feel like you're just out there and you got to defend you and you got to protect you. No, Allah is greater than anything that's coming to you. Islam,
He's a little boy. He said, I was around town smash. I was like, yeah, he's about to graduate from high school now. His son.
Chester.
I know that's right, beloved. I know that's right.
Right.
Come on, come on.
I got my hands right.
There you go. There you go.
Pull up boy on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Something that I discovered years ago fast. It's impossible to be hungry.
No, not
Come on now. Come on now.
How we just don't got nothing. It's all in the mind.
That's
You know,
right.
and the sister spoke about, suppressing that ego. You starve that ego. That ego can't compete with you when you control over the self, and the ego ain't got no energy to compete with you. It's so many benefits in fast. And like the Grand Governor said, in the penitentiary, we turn our exercise up when Ramadan comes. I have Ramadan where I put on weight, and I put on muscle, because we work out and we go so hard. You know what I mean? It's just, and you can do that when you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and you know the benefit. When you know what Ramadan is, when you know the benefit, it makes it so much easier. But it's so difficult when you don't know, because now all you can concentrate on is these so-called hunger pains that really not hunger pains. There's no way that you're hungry. The first time that I ever experienced hunger was when I was voluntarily doing the commemoration fast with the Rastafari.
Okay.
And we go 9 days without eating anything.
Right, right.
That was the first time I experienced hunger in my life. And I knew that it was so different than what I thought was hunger before.
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, you think you're hungry just because you got a habit to eat. Habitually we eat. We think, oh man, I ain't eating, so I'm hungry. You're not hungry. You're hungry when your body starts to digest the stored away body fat. It starts to process stored away vitamins and insulin that you got inside your pancreas that you save for later just in case you need something. Like, the body is so intelligent that the body fat is there for a reason. We eat so much that we communicate to our body that it needs all of this excess amount of calories. So in order to keep them starved, it starts to store away sources of calories. Once you start to exercise and train your body without gorging yourself, then your body understands that it doesn't need all of these calories, it'll let it go. I've seen men who would exercise every day, but they couldn't get rid of their belly fat. And they wasn't eating a lot, but before they was exercising, they allowed for their testosterone levels and their metabolism to get so bad that they have communicated to their body that their body can't let go of this stored of fat. Once your body knows, I don't need that, it'll let it go. It'll let it go. This thing that God created for us to put our spirit and our soul in is so powerful. And fasting, it teaches us to take control of it. I want the Moors to go and read the stories of the prophets by Ibn Kathir. And in that book, it's going to give you, what the Bible and what the Quran and what any hadith has to say about particular prophets. But one of the things that I want the Moors to really focus on is to tell you about how so many prophets fasted. They had different fasts. Like David had the way he fasted, Mary had the way she fasted, Jesus had the way they fasted. But they all fasted because they understood the benefits of it. They understood the benefits. There's so many Muslims, so many Muslims, so many Moors that just don't understand what they doing. That's what's making it difficult for them. Like for me, I ain't gonna need fun. It's not even a thing. It's one of those. So when it comes to, the eating part, that's not the thing. It's not a thing. But, the other aspects of it, where I had to actually check my ego, because I got ego. I got an ego. Sometimes I get to thinking, why is somebody doing this, that, and the third? They don't have a right to do this, that, and the third. They don't have a right. The Lord selfish is powerful. But, this is a great conversation to have. When we supposed to be, I definitely would love to participate in communicating what the meaning of Ramadan is to the mass. So I would love to participate in that.
Absolutely, we're gonna be connected with you, definitely, because when we understand and see, it's a beautiful thing when you actually. I work with a Sufi community, and in doing so, you get to learn the metaphysics of this thing. So when you learn the metaphysics of it, that takes you over to that C. Freeman L thing. So he would drop a whole lot of nuggets that really, really helped us to understand. So, they say that with everything that the prophet wrote, everything had 7 levels. And so it depends on where you are in what you're able to understand. So when we understand the metaphysics of Ramadan, we start to do that every Monday and every Thursday fast, because that's what the beauty of it is. We begin to get an opportunity to train our bodies. And then when we start doing those white days, so when you start doing it on a regular basis, and then you observe the 15th of Shaban, you are just doing nothing but bringing in the barakah. It's just like all of the blessings I'm calling to me. I make myself a magnet for blessings. And Allah sees that I'm an obedient servant, so he finds he can trust me. Takes it to a completely different level.
Islam, brother, Penitent Bay, so you said that you're going to be doing online.
He was going to teach the class.
Yeah, you're going to be teaching the online workout class in the mornings? Is that what you said?
He said at 6 a.m., sister.
You say workout class?
Yeah, you said you're going to be instructing the workout classes in the morning online for the Moors.
He did, Miss Cleo.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
It's like the Fred Gumby, what we call soft pressing me, right? Soft pressing me. Right now, because I'm when I graduate job partnership next week, then my mornings will be free. And
you said you do 5 a.m. then, brother? Okay. Praise Allah.
Go out and sit.
Okay.
Islam.
Go out. And that's, I like to get my workout done early. So,
right.
And let me tell you, see, it's a science to working out and training the body. 3 or 4 days a week, your body does not respond to a workout while you're working out. It responds while you're resting. I had got to the point where I would only work out one day a week. And a lot of the youngsters, they used to always ask me, like, man, how you only working out one day a week? But this is because I go hard that one day, and I let my body rest. I'm not trying to be the biggest, most chocolate. I'm 43 years old. You know what I mean? I just need to be in good physical condition. And that's what it's about, conditioning. It's about being constant, consistent. It's the communication of the soul to the body. The working out part is important, but the communication between your soul and your body is the most important part of working out. That's the most important part. So once you communicate to your body, so it's a state of mind that you need to be in while you're working out. It's a state of mind that you need to be in. And you'll see much faster, much better results that way. And I see people, they want to go to the gym 6 or 7 days a week. Then they look up 6 or 7 months down the line, and they look the same. They feel the same. If you want to really have your efforts impact the way you look and feel, then you have to go hard where you go. Make sure you respect the muscle. For the women, y'all do not feel muscle. You have no testosterone. If you got enough testosterone to feel muscle, then you need something to see. She needs to create some type of balance within your life because your estrogen is too low. You know what I mean? But to get in good physical shape and to tone your body up, all you gotta have is the right mind state, right program, and eat right. But I don't have no problem with doing it because I'm gonna go work out. All I'm gonna do is just turn the camera on and y'all watch me.
So what time would that be?
When I finish this job partnership, my last day of that is Thursday. And that weekend, next weekend, we can figure out what time it's gonna be.
Beautiful sister, my auntie Bay says she's doing 50 push-ups now. That's awesome. She must have typed right behind him. Okay. I said I'm doing yoga.
He made me want to do 50 push-ups now.
I was surprised. I was like, okay. No, not okay. I'm not doing no push-ups, okay, because I don't have muscle, just like the sheik said, right? I am soft, right? So I do yoga, Islam,
Like I don't do. You're not gonna. You would never. The only way you would see me drop down on the ground and do 50 or 100 push-ups is if it's some type of
Challenge. Right.
I do nervous system training. Strength training. So what you do is you take an exercise that maybe you can do 10 or 15 reps of, and you do 5 to 7 reps. So like if I go on the pull-up bar, you would never see me do more than 7 pull-ups at one time. You would never see me do. I usually do about 10 push-ups per set, but I do volume sets. So I do 50 to 100 sets. So with the training, like for a beginner, I always tell them, start off with 1 or 2, because we're going to do so many sets that over the course of the workout, you're going to get what you got coming. And in time, you'll be able to add more reps within those sets because you're building strength. And you don't want to beat your body up. The main thing that makes people stop working out is they start off trying to do too much, they get too sore, it hurts too bad, and they don't want to come back. So what you want to do is you want to do just enough in the beginning to get a little bit of soreness. So it can heal in a day or two. Everybody who work out know that once your body heals and it's not sore no more, it's not going to get sore, again. And you can start to push yourself a little more. But yeah, it's a science too. If you want to work.
Okay, so you was trying to say this to me, Brother Bay, that I could watch you and maybe do 2
That's what I want
push-ups.
I'm weak. I'm just weak. I'm weak. I'm weak. I'm just I can't.
That's too many.
You can still remain a lady and do them. I do 10 to 15. I'm very much a lady.
Oh my goodness.
And
no, it's not. I'm just saying. I thought like males, like men do push-ups.
well, you can do the soft life and still do push-ups and be well conditioned.
You trying to
say I'm not conditioned well? Wait,
Sister,
I am conditioned well. That's why I said
you can still be in your feminine energy, so I'm gonna speak for myself.
Okay,
you can still be in your feminine energy, and you can still work out. I am training to be a personal trainer.
What about Nat? Nat is a warrior. You think she don't train for that?
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm still on these push-ups because okay, I think I'm going look, give me the time and date and I'm going to attend, inshallah. Because I'm curious now and interested because of what the Sister Grand Sheikah said. So now I gotta prove that Islam. I'm coming now, but I'm still gonna do my yoga class.
No, do your yoga because your yoga is gonna help you to stretch. That's one of the biggest problems that we have is most people do not perfect stretching. So once you really get that stretching game down, then you're able to develop lean muscle, and so you don't end up bulking and you don't look like a Ninja Turtle, but you're actually able to just be smooth and well toned. Because men don't want that jiggly stuff hanging around. So, you look well toned.
Well, some men do want that jiggly stuff.
I'm not hanging off your arms. Not hanging off your arms. They don't mind about that.
They be like all that. Look, from my observation, I was like, well, you quit. Okay. Look, I'm finna go sit down somewhere. He started it. I'm gonna finish it. It's live.
Oh my goodness. The brother Fuquabe said Clarissa shit.
Wait, so Brother McCluddy L said Coke bottle shapes are cool, but men like Gatorade too. Wow. Wow. Just wow. Whew. Wow. It's just so much. Okay, see, Brother A. Griffin L agrees with me. No jiggly stuff, please. Right. So we want to keep it toned. We have the option to. And as we get older, if we start to take active leave of it now. The beautiful thing here with us being in Atlanta, I'm here at the top of the mountain. Sometimes it's way too cold or too windy to walk, so I'm able to walk at home. We have a walk at home program that you can walk up to 5 miles a day. So I'm absolutely loving it. I really, really am, so that we can jiggle in the right place and then have everything else firm and yeah.
That's one of the most important things too, is moving around. I'm gonna tell y'all about the places where they store out so many Asiatics in the prisons. You wouldn't believe. A lot of people think that, you know, working out is just something that guys do in prison, but that's just not true. Most guys in prison just sit around for years and years and years for the TV. I would say that on average, if a person does about 5 years in prison, they do at least 2.5 years straight, and out of the other 2.5 years, you got to subtract the time that they sleep in front of the TV, and that's just sitting there. So just imagine what it does to the testosterone. Imagine what it does to the metabolism. And supercharging your testosterone it can be done, you know, but it's not easy. And just coming back from that type of laziness, and then being that lazy is irresponsible. You know, like, we have aspirations, like we want to do things for our family, we want to do things for the more non-members. But if I'm not healthy, if I don't do the things where I can be healthy enough to do the things that I know that I need to do, that's irresponsible.
That's right.
So that's why, taking care of the physical part. What did he say? He said that the greatest blessing that I stumble upon is health before proportion. And the greatest of these is health. And then later on he said, because health calleth her forth to show her lovely. So without a healthy body, we can't actually express an ingenious, healthy soul. So it's important. They put guys in the prison. Look, it's never dark. So we don't sleep in the dark like we supposed to. It's so many lockdowns. It's difficult. So if a brother wanted to fast and they wasn't fortunate enough to be able to have, food, then when they break their fast, they might not even have nothing to break it with. And then when you fasting, like we know Ramadan was prescribed so that we all could, adhere to that pillar, which is suhoor, fast.
Did he go frozen with me? Okay, because I thought it was a dramatic pose. I thought it was a dramatic pose.
Come back, Brother Peterson, but they come back. Come back.
I thought it was a dramatic pose. He was trying to make a point, and he's just looking at him. Okay.
Yeah, the Matrix got him.
Instead of let him go, what's going on?
Yeah, I still feel sad for my guys in prison, though, man. I think about that sometimes. They've been prison for a whole life, and some of them may be, not guilty, so, and they just held there like some slaves, man. That's really crazy when you think about it. Like, yeah, it's so sad that when I think about it, man, I'm not gonna lie, I think about it. Even when I'm fasting and right now, it made me think about like worldly stuff, and then I'm like, man, the prison system is and the guys there is really sad, you know what I mean? And I feel like we gotta do something, man, and to help them, because some of them are there, not as being criminals or some type of vagabond or something, you know what I mean? You're simply caught up in a system that, like we know how the system does. So, you back, brother, you back, man. All right, what's long?
Yeah, I put out a call to everyone back in October, and I said, if you know of someone that is in prison in the feds and they're trying to come home, if it's a family member or someone that you're close to that you know, to have them reach out to me, because I want to see if I can take on their case pro bono, but it has to be one of the commercial crimes in 27 CFR 72.11. Morris, I have one one brother will reach out to me, and I've been currently working with him on his case. Inshallah, we'll be able to get him home. But I have one who reached out to me, and I gave that call out back in October. So a lot of times what happens is we're out here in what is called the free world. We really forget about those who are locked behind the wall. We don't think about, well, you know what, let me see what they think about, trying to come home. A lot of times, most brothers, once they get to the point where they've been in 5 years, they trying to do everything they can to get home. Those who's still fighting to get home. But yeah, I have one to reach out, and I've been working with him and his wife to possibly get him home. Inshallah, it'll definitely work out in his favor. Assalamu alaikum.
Inshallah, because they groom some children that don't have instructions from. Well, what is it called when it's like when they're up below 17? What is it called? That's the correctional or some juvenile.
Yeah, juvenile.
So they groom them. They groom them, right? Because they're lost in the system and they're lost with no instruction. So all they know, and even if they haven't done anything, they're targeted. You know what I mean? It's like a grouping system. And I find it really sad that, just like, I was thinking about the water and the food, I made me think about how I enjoy the freedom of, my life and doing what I do and how everyone might not have that. And it really made me think about more of a higher worldly things, you know what I mean? Then I thought about, there's a Muslim in Gambia that I support, him and his family, every now and then. He hits me up, we cook, and I send him something to give him a little food, for his family. And I thought about it, man, we are fortunate, but we don't extend that olive branch to everyone else.
Yes, that's right. We are very fortunate.
That's why they say teaching gratitude. In prison, right now, especially in like federal prison, oh man, the drugs, these synthetic drugs, the presence of the more, like when I first went to prison, the more scientific work was so strong. Like I was spread secret prison for a long time, and I always had a lot of food, but now, like when the last few times I transferred from one institution to another institution, I would get there and it wouldn't even be a temple. That was something that was unheard of, back in the day. But what happened was, the Angels, supported temple number 43, in the beds, most of the temples, the majority are branch temple number 43. And I'm just going to speak from my own experience. I had every single every member, every registered active member in the temple, each write a letter to temple number 43. We wasn't asking for anything, pictures, show us pictures of the boards. There came a time where we didn't know, we knew that Jones Bay was National Grand Sheik, but we didn't know who the assistant Grand Sheik was, we didn't know who the chairman was, so many, how they do with their elections and stuff, and the officials changing so much, we wouldn't know. And I had every single member write letter and made copies and had them all drop the same letter in the mail for 5 to 6 days in a row. Never got a single, not one. I got the list of every temple in the ink, every Grand Sheik of every temple in that body, and wrote every single one. I didn't just write them. I had every member of the temple write every single last one. Never got a single response. Not one. Not one single response. Not one. So it's very difficult to teach a group of people never heard of the Moorish Science Temple of America, but they come to the temple about the operation that's outside when they can't even see it. And you can't even convince somebody to get them a little bit, just to show a little bit. All I needed was for them to just say, hey, we are here. You get out, if you're blessed enough to get out, show up here for your meat. That's it. That's it. I'm not asking y'all for nothing else. I never asked the chaplain. When I used to go to the chaplains, and the chaplains would be like, here's the budget, what do the Moors want? I want Quran, I want questionnaires, I want constitutional bylaws, I want Moorish literature. If you got something left, then I want some Ivan Van Sertin, some CSDs, I want, but all that stuff comes secondary. I don't need no movies. They get to talking about doggone, not movies, you want movies, but there was no way to get them. But then they get to talking about ceremonial meals. I'm like, boy, we don't got nothing in our practice to talk about. We need a ceremonial meal. I need the material to teach more science. That's it. That's it. So with that being the case, the presence of the Moorish Science Temple of America in the prison done dwindled to a little bit of nothing. Now let me tell you what that means. In 2008, I had served 5 years already, but I had not done a single day of my sentence. I have been in prison for 5 years, and I still had the same amount of time left because I caught 33 more months. I lost 700 days of good time. I just wasn't doing the time to the way a person gonna do it when they plan to come home. One day I decided, you know what? If I keep on going this way, if I keep on living like this, I'm never going to get out of here. I'm gonna be stuck here for the remainder of my doggone life. And I was like, what do I do? And the only thing I could think of, because the only people can't say anything good to try to help me in any kind of way, they have always been Moors. They have always been Moors. I'm talking about on buses and transit, just sitting at the table in the chow hall. I might be walking the yard. It was always a Moor who walk up to me and start trying to give me some game. None of the homies, none of the so-called homies, none of the so-called gang chiefs, I knew them all, none of them. They would always be like, oh man, that little wild young, we don't even want to be around him, we don't want nothing to do with him. They didn't say nothing good to me. The only time they had something to say to me when something was going down and they needed somebody to go do some bullshit. That's the only time they wanted to talk to me. So the only way I knew to turn was to turn to the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moorish Science Temple of America was there for me to turn to it. Now it's hardly there. So where is the people that's in the same predicament that I was in, that's having them same similar thoughts? Where they gonna turn now? They gonna go to the doggone, the alternative that's not gonna provide them with no means. They gonna be in prison, they can get their mind right, they can start praying, they can start doing all that. I've seen it a million times. And then they get out, and now they got bills to pay, they got kids to raise, they got a woman who done supported them while they was locked up, saying that men are going to be returning home to take their place inside of the house. But that's not what's returning home, because they have not developed the skills that it takes to live out here. I'm not here right now, and I ain't gonna front. Everybody was talking about it's hard, it's easy to me. It didn't take me no time to go find a job. It wasn't difficult for me to do none of the things that I was supposed to do, period. From preparation, but if you ain't got it, if it wasn't for the Moorish Science Temple of America, I would have never been ready. When I was leaving, when I was on my way out, I was kind of bothered with the brothers who I was leaving behind, understanding that, man, I ain't had the time to get these brothers ready. Who gonna do it now? The Nation of Islam have a prison ministries program where they are consistently sending in ministers to go to the institutions and to make sure that the student ministers in the institution is demonstrating the way that they're supposed to. But whoever want to come and join those bodies, the only federal prison where I was at, where that was going on, when I was, we was all members of the Inc. I didn't even know it was anything else until years of being in the temple. I didn't even know it was anything outside of the Inc. Was Hopkins Bay. Hopkins Bay visits every prison in his jurisdiction, being the Grand Governor of Pennsylvania. He visits them all, every month. During the month of Ramadan, Hopkins Bay, I was in Allenwood, USP, my membership. Kate Love the Ill, the rock out week, ever since I joined Temple Number 2, it helped me to be able to show the brothers that I had owed the responsibility to what the Moore Science Temple of America is and give them some place to go when they got out. Now, obviously, these jokers ain't here right now, but they knew where to go. You know, and it's bad. It's bad. This doggone European, man. Listen, we talk about being consistent. Man, they consistent as ever with making sure that we have issues with understanding who and what we are. You got the brothers in there, it's bad enough. We come from the gang background, so we got the GDs, the DDs, the Blackstones, the Cobras, and all these other things. Then you get inside the federal prison. Now we break down some more. Where you from? Oh, I'm from Chicago. Or I'm from here. I'm from there. So now we're gonna break you down right there. Then we're gonna break you down by race. You know what I mean? And then, man, oh my God, you talk about the Ethiopian degree. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, man, and here go the interesting part about the Moore Science Temple of America. Outside of social media, the largest recruitment field for the Moore Science Temple of America is prison.
Kate. That's right.
So how in the world when we know we get so many members from this place, they ain't got good teachers. They don't have the resources to prepare to come out and take their place in the system. And like the Sheikah, she always points out, and it's true. And a lot of people think about that about me. They think it's still to this day. Oh, he always recites the Quran. You know, they didn't have nothing but time to study. They don't understand. I'm about this work. I've been about work.
Kate.
When I'm gangbanging, I'm about work. But once I start learning more
Kate.
science, it's about applying it. You know what I'm saying? If I mean apply, it don't mean nothing to me. That's the way I was taught. I was taught that if this Quran don't put food on the table, the Quran ain't no good. Now,
Food, shelter, and clothing, Morris. Listen.
So I know that to be a fact. You know, I dealt with them. They were teaching me, and they was in research. Blocks of wood. They couldn't stop no more. They could recite the prophet's literature from cover to cover, all of it. That's how I used to be, because I thought that was important. I seen this one, and I thought it was important. When I started studying Quran, I started studying the cover to the cover to recite it.
That's right.
After a while, I'm like, no, I need to start figuring out what this stuff means. So right now, if you ask me right now to start reciting these chapters to you, I probably couldn't do it. But I know every single word. So when I start talking it and teaching it, it comes to me because it's about the application. It's about the application of it. Now, who do you blame for them wars in there that's just parroting? You can't. What Malcolm X said. You don't blame the victim. You don't blame the victim. Where's the teachers at?
That's right.
When R.W. said there ain't no bona fide sheiks inside the prison, he's a dang old lie. He's a lie. He's a lie. Tell me I ain't been shaking for years.
It's
not. I ain't trying to hear that. They start talking about, oh, y'all acting great. This ain't no dang old acting. This ain't no mad human drama. We ain't here going through problems for real. We solving problems for real. Man,
it's not.
Get killed. The prophet said don't carry your penknife. Well, guess what? I had to have a group of Moors who carry more than penknives to protect groups of Moors.
That's right.
The prophet talked about sacrificing groups of Moors. I had to go to sleep and wake up every day, measuring and meeting out problems, making sure if they met the criteria for me to sacrifice a group of Moors. Because when those Moors had to demonstrate what they had to demonstrate, every time you go before them disciplinary hearing officers, they take good time. They got to do that time in jail.
That's right.
They got to do that time. When they take that good time, now you got to do that time in prison. So you don't tell me that we acting in here. No,
that's right.
Some acting out here.
That's where the most acting is at.
Some of y'all got what the Sheikah say is Supreme.
I said that's where most of the acting is out here. It's very the criteria to become a sheik these days and an adat these days. I hear a lot of more say, well, I'm already that because I went through my mother's womb. I was already birthed through the birth canal this other kind of simple stuff. And it's grand sheets that's actually telling the Moors that they're right and it's okay. And because they want numbers. No, they want numbers when they know that these people are not qualified. First and foremost, a lot of our people are dealing with mental illness and sickness. So how can you're dealing with, you clearly see that this individual is dealing with mental illness and sickness, but then you want to make them sheik in the anak, giving them power and authority to be able to, rule and reign over in a temple. It does not work that way. It's not going to work that way. One of the things that you mentioned is how it worked for you. The lessons worked for you. Right? In Chicago, what a lot of Moors that's not from Chicago don't understand is that many of the tribal organizations have implemented the Moorish American Prayer, have implemented the Divine Constitution and bylaws within their tribal organizations, but the people, especially the younger people in there, they don't know that it's coming from the Moorish Science Temple of America. So can you speak a little bit on how you grew up reciting the Moorish American Prayer and didn't even know that it was the Moorish American Prayer? At what age did you start reciting the Moorish American Prayer, and when did you learn that it was the Moorish American Prayer?
That's familiar.
Okay, so not the more.
Right, it's familiar. Right.
The Asiatic name.
It's not.
Right. So okay, so in 1990, at the age of 9, I became a Mickey Cole. So by the time I was 13 years old, I knew a Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nations about heart. And I didn't know about their name, the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nations. I didn't know what the Moorish Science Temple of America was. I didn't know what the Moorish Science Temple of America was until I went to prison. Now, I'm born and raised in Chicago all my life. Outside of the time I spent in prison, I'm from Chicago. And I rose up through the ranks of the Mickey Code and never knew. I didn't even know that the founder of the Mickey Code was a Moorish American. Henry Caldwell Bay. I didn't know that. I knew his name. I didn't know what Bay was. And I knew Moors. I knew quite a few Moors I know now. Elders that was in the neighborhoods where I was at. And even one brother who actually took the time to teach me how to sell drugs. And I mean step by step, make sure that you always got quality drugs. Make sure that you always, think about the people who pay your bills. I mean, literally, I'm talking about an instruction book, spend days and days, I'm a sponge. I love to learn, especially about anything that I'm doing. And at the time, I was a drug dealer. I was a drug dealer. And he taught me. Well, he had a brother who was a Moor, member of the Temple still, Cookie Monster. That was his little brother. Khalif was the brother who I'm talking about. So Cookie Monster got out the joint, he let his mother in the crib, and I used to see Cookie Monster with his feds on, going to 103rd Street and hopping on the bus. I didn't know where he was going, but I assumed that he was a Mason because I knew Mason because when he was little, a lot of the Prince Hall.
Yeah, you're doing right, baby. Put this 20 in,
take us all to picnics and stuff, down at Dan Ryan Woods when they would have their picnics and stuff. So every time I seen the feds, I assumed that they was Mason. But a lot of times they was Moors. They just wasn't proclaiming it to us. But anyway, I seen Cookie Monster going. So one day I'm standing on the corner with Khalif. Cookie Monster comes back and he tell Khalif, he say Islam. Khalif, so I love, I was 16, 17 years old. So Cookie wants to tell me, he say, man, all well. I'm like, man, all well. So he looked at Khalif, he said, man, Grand Sheik, said, man, you need to make your meat. When he looked at me, he said, man, Khalif used to be the Grand Sheik. I'm like, what's a Grand Sheik? Sorry. I'm like, what's a Grand Sheik? He's like, you can tell me what a Grand Sheik is. Walked off, I told Khalif, let's go to the Grand Sheik. Don't worry about it. And he went right on telling me how to sell dope. Later on that night, I'm sitting down in his basement,
Tell you how to sell dope, but wouldn't talk about the Grand Sheik. Woo!
Check this out. So a sister named China Doll. China Doll, she smoked crack and stuff. She used to walk around like she was, retarded. But China Doll wasn't retarded at all. That was a game she was playing.
Man, I knew a China doll. You out west?
You probably know. You probably know who I'm talking about. On 104. So she come in, she look, she see nobody around, so she sit down, she throw 220 on the table, she's like, man, stay home, throw me, something for this. I look at her now, her eyes are straight. At first they was all cockeyed, now they straight. So she smiled like, let me in on the game she playing. So while she's sitting there, she going the whole pad, they was old songs. So she started telling me about
Nah, China doll I knew was pimping women.
So I asked her, I said, China doll, what is a Grand Sheik? Look at Tommy, she said, Tommy, you gonna tell me what a Grand Sheik is? That's to win another war. That was it. Never heard of it. I didn't ask Tommy about it anymore. So I got the trick. Now, one thing about the brother talking about juvenile detention, when I was young, I used to go to what we call the Icon Juvenile Detention in Chicago, and a holy cousin of the ACI's name was a piece of literature that codes that we kind of all identify with. But we didn't understand the meaning of the word. It just sounds it's our brothers and brothers in the system. Our sisters in trouble for saying they're not. We didn't really understand what it means. Nobody, really told us what it meant and done like that. So all throughout Chicago, this is the thing, especially with Stone, Black P Stone. They 7 acts,
You cooking.
20 more, all that,
You're cooking,
all
Mom.
day long. They don't know nothing about the 101 and where this is coming from. They don't know what love, true peace, freedom, and justice really represents. Matter of fact, what I've come to find out since I've been out across the board, now a whole lot of members of the temple that don't know what love, true peace, freedom, and justice represents.
Come on now. Teach.
They don't know that it represents us. Our flag represents us. We don't represent the flag. The flag represents the people.
Come on now.
Now, one thing about other nations observing our behavior after seeing our flag and understanding the law of flag. Now, when you understand the law of flag, the maritime application of the flag and what it means, the flag tells the people what they're dealing with, what's approaching. And this is what the flag does. It goes in front of you. Now, when we have this flag that says love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, but then when we get there, we demonstrate hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harm. We don't respect our own nation.
Come on.
And the Prophet Ali said that character, free national standards, and power
Yes, sir.
makes a man and a nation.
Islam.
The free national standards. The Sheikh has just talked about how low the standards been got. If our standards are so low that we got people who they need to have they behind in Sundays, on Sunday, burn more signs.
Yes, Mom. Sister K. Bay want to get some.
I got a question. How you going to stand in line if you don't know nothing?
Islam.
Islam, gratitude more. Thank you for that. Sister K. Bay?
I just wanted to camel back on what the brother was saying and what you were saying and Neil Bay, because like I come from the same similar background. I grew up where most people is handed down the legacy. I was a Greek, aka my daughter gonna be a Greek, aka I was a Delta, my daughter was gonna be a Delta.
Come on. Wake us up.
I didn't grow up in that background. I grew up in a background where my mother was a queen of vice lords. I got to see her run a group of women, and that's what I aspired to be. So and they teaching us principles mixed with folly, and it was crazy because at 13 I wanted to be a vice lord so bad. They wouldn't let me though. They like, no, your mama was the queen. No, you can't be. So I go somewhere else to go be a vice lord, and that's what they taught us. And in my time, even young, I was like 6 3-star Universal, out selling drugs, hanging out, fighting.
3 stars.
But
Woo!
on Fridays, we in the gold, stating Fatia, a covenant of Asiatic nations. So it's like y'all taking what y'all know to build structure, and a lot of places do that. And that fast forward me to Eastern Star. When I became an Eastern Star, it was so easy because what I learned as a child, they mimicking more science too. So when I finally was at my lowest of low, it took a more in jail to introduce me to more science. I knew nothing of the prophet. Grew up in Chicago. Grew up in Cabrini Green, right where the Cook Bays lived.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Cook Bays all up in there. The whole family was up over there. That's right.
Yeah, and I went to school with some of them, so it was like they dropped their fezzes and turbans, you know. So it's like my whole life, I feel like I've been prepared for this now. You know, when I was at my lowest, I couldn't go to the church. The church didn't understand me. I couldn't go to no doctors. Doctors didn't understand me. It took somebody who knew me best to say, can you just look at this online and I'm going to get a Quran sent to you. Introduce me to Cake Love Ill, like they going to help you the rest of the way. So it was like they prepare you to be miracles for them, but what more science prepare you for is for the greater good of yourself. And it took me to get here to be like, oh my God, I already know this stuff. You know, so it was easy for me to adapt. But now I see a lot of more love in it, even though you see so much hatred from the Moors. I'm not thinking about what I went through with people. I'm thinking about what the Prophet and Allah is taking me through. I had to take the people out the mix or I would have been left. But I'm still here. I'm still carrying a message, and it's so easy to adapt because it's like that's what they train you to do. So now instead of being a soldier for the conservative vice lords, I'm a soldier for Allah. I want to know Drew Ali's finest, you know? And it shows we got to be who we know. And once people see, oh, she came from this and she there, that's why they starting to follow. My daughter didn't follow me at first, but she got on that call and demonstrated. It made me proud. My daughter called asking for numbers. I need to demonstrate. I read the Quran. Cake Lover L came to meet my daughter just to meet her and minister to her. She called me yesterday and said, I need to speak to Penitent Bay and Cake Lover L. I need an interpretation of a dream. I read chapter 1. I didn't even ask her to read chapter 1. She called me and said, all I knew to do was to give her the Quran. I wasn't going to force it on her. 5 years of me being in Moorish science, she saw one woman treat me wrong and was like, I don't want this. But then she saw people loving on me and was like, wait, I want some parts of this. She read it on her own. When she got to chapter 2, she stumbled. So guess what she did? Hey, can I speak to them? Can I get some numbers? I wanna build. And that was like, I feel like I'm not passing down no gang stuff to my child. My child don't see
That's right,
me
sister.
gangbanging.
That's right.
My
That's
child
right.
see me thugging
Allahu
for
Akbar.
my God. And she following that. So that's something we
Hey, I'm thugging for my Lord too. What up? I understand the language.
I
Islam.
wanted to get a little in on that, and
Hey, Nas called us street disciples, sis. We street disciples.
I want to ask this: how did it feel when you was?
Oh no, Neil May. Oh no. I'm sorry.
How did it feel when you was in the temple meeting and the first time you heard the Asiatic covenant?
I just was like, you know how you be listening to something and you just turn your head sideways and just look off in space like, what the? Like, wait a minute, they didn't start the Vice Lord stuff. but you know, once I started getting the understanding and I thought about it, you know, we coming up with the Quran. We read the Quran. I didn't know what the
Al-Fatiha. They love it.
I just know what they was teaching us. I just knew all my lit was all praises due to Allah. Some of it started on this holy divine day. I give praise to Allah, Father of the universe. I didn't know who I was praising or what I was saying, but then when I get here, it's like, wow. It's like they got good and bad mixed in them. It's like they want to give you your principles and they want to give you the goodness, but at the same time, you go this pack of drugs too. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the bad part to it all.
Yeah, and to be on the right side.
Islam. If I can add, I'm with them, until they get to the drug selling, pimping women, or putting guns in children's hands. Everything else, I can stand with it, because all tribes definitely come from out of this Moorish Science Temple of America. Our literature is the same. They can't get away from it.
Islam, now, Nelbay, I got a question for you.
Uh-oh.
What lessons in Moorish science did you know already and that you heard of before joining the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Islam.
From the tribes that you
nothing hurts a duck but its bib.
Say that again, 'cause you
nothing hurts the duck but what? What hurts the duck? Islam. Islam. And then I heard, they laughing. I heard,
you going in and out. Are you
then after that, I heard all as one. All as one. Noble Drew Ali said that. But we were taught that in the GD tribe. Not only that, remember, Noble Drew Ali said he's the supreme head and chairman.
You going in and out? Are you on a speakerphone?
I'm on the tablet. And remember when Larry Hoover said he was the supreme?
You going in and out. We can't hear you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
I want to make sure that everybody is getting this.
Okay, let me get off of YouTube. Can you hear me now? Okay. Remember the Moor said that he was the supreme head and chairman. Noble Drew Ali said he's the supreme head and chairman. Larry Hoover became what? The chairman. Nobody is higher than who? The chairman. So I started looking at the Prophet's lessons.
You going in and out.
Islam. What I'm saying, Islam. Somebody heard me. They can repeat it.
Islam. So yeah, if you can get on another device and then come back in, because I'm gonna be developing a video out of these